Okay folks, let's go. Let's prune a young 4-year-old open center Wixon apple. It's a crab apple, but don't let that deter you. It's tart, yeah, but it's a little sweet meat as well. You can see some remnant fruit here. Isn't that cool? Let's get rid of that right now. So an open center, think geometric form, a big, wide, circular opening at the top, a cone, and a narrow tapering base. The open center doesn't have one central leader, but a number of multiple leaders. Let's look at what we've got here, roughly. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8. And it's within the realm of possibility. You can have 3, 5, 7, 9. The specific number, multiple leaders that is, the specific number is not that important. What is important is that you have good spacing between your multiple leaders so you can have alleys of light penetrating the core of the tree. So I'm going to make some executive decisions here, and I'm going to thin out some unnecessary branches or unwanted branches. Let's just start here. To keep that cone open, anything moving into the center needs to be, anything of substance moving into the center needs to be thinned. I'm now going to execute a thinning cut. A thinning cut is where you cut a branch out at its point of origin, put it on the ground. All right, get on the ground. And it just gets rid of unwanted branches. There should be no growth response from it. The second type of cut would be a heading cut, and that is where you cut a branch back a portion of its length. If you cut it a little, it'll grow a little the subsequent year. If you cut it moderately, it'll grow moderately. You want to really stimulate it, cut it back a lot. But as it turns out, this whole arm here is not needed. I'm going to thin it. Okay, the primary branches are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7. So let's get rid of the unwanteds. I'm going to cut this back, but not all the way. I'm going to leave a little stub there that already has an expressed fruit bud. I call it a fruit hanger. I'm good with primary structure. I'm good with primary structure. Good with primary structure. I'm hopeful with primary structure. We'll get back to this when we train it. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. And the next step would be thinning unwanted, vigorous growths. Your big wood or your strong wood is structural, the framework. Your weak wood or your flat wood is fruitful. Laterals bear almost all the fruit on almost all species of fruits. Laterals, folks, are your friends. So big wood for structure, small wood for fruit. Let's get on with it. I'm gonna shut up and thin. I'm singling. In the end, you want your branches, your primary branches, to end in a single, not a multiple set of growths. Where I have a choice like this, I'll always choose the one that goes out and up and into the sun. Keep that cone at the top open. Moving down the line. Walking down the line, as Woody Guthrie once sang. Single it and single it again. This is so cute. And what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to create a Mondo fruit hanger. I'm going to thin it back to this point and just leave what you might call fruit hangers or low-hanging fruit. Moving along, I'm going to leave this and come back to it shortly. I'm going to keep one of these growths again. You want vigor at the end of your branches, but you also want vigor that goes up and out. Let's create a fruit hanger here by thinning this to an expressed fruit bud and another expressed fruit bud here. And let's say that this whole confab, as it were, is what we call unnecessary. Let's do this. The explanation has already been offered. Short, fruit hanging laterals. Coming down the home stretch. Beautiful, vigorous, too busy. I'm gonna fork. You can fork or Y a couple times on your primaries. I'm gonna say one wing and another wing, and the rest are, whoops, put on the ground. Good. So let's, I've got a couple of rambunctious ramblers down in the core of the tree. Let's put them on the ground. And one last one. You can't have vigor in the core of the tree. It'll shade too much. So 1, 2, that's a fork. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These will need to be trained. We'll get to that shortly. I'm satisfied. I'm tickled too. Let's move on.